Hello students, this is our class number 2 and in this class we will learn data type. Let me write here heading data type of C language. Students, data type are very important. First I will tell you what is the meaning of data type. Data type is most important and most basic concept of every programming language. Okay, first I want to show you this slide. This is the meaning of data type. Data type are used to declare variable, right? When we declare a variable, but why we declare a variable? When we want to store some data, when we want to store some information, data type is used to declare a variable, and variables are placeholder. Just like our water bottle is a placeholder which can store water, right? It can store any liquid. So data type is like that only. It will store some value. In many of the code you might have seen like a equal to b, a equal to 10, b equal to 20, and we have to declare a and b. So what is this a and b? A and b are variable, and variables are declared by using different data type. Data type are used for declaration of variable. This determine the type and size of the data associated with the variable. So data type will tell you what type of data. Is it integer? Is it character? Is it floating point? What type of data are stored in the variable and what will be the size of it? Let me explain you in the detail. Just a minute. Hello students, so now we will learn data type in C language. Data type is the most basic and most important concept of any programming language. If you want to learn how to write code, then you must be aware with the data types of that particular language. Let us go through it. Students, in any C program you might have seen like this, right? You might have seen something like this. Integer a, float b, right? You might have seen this keyword. Whenever I write something and it become white color, it means it is a keyword. Okay, so you might have seen something like this. This is nothing but data type. Okay, let me show you the definition of data type. So data types are used to declare variable. And what is the meaning of variable? First I will tell you that students, variables are like placeholder. When we want to store some information, we have to use variables. Now these variables are declared by using some data type. Just have a look at this. Data type are used for declaration of variable, and variables are placeholder. It will store some data. Data type will determine the type and size of the data associated with variable. Which variable will store what type of data and what will be the size of it, that will be determined by data type. Now I will show you how many data type are available in the C language. This is the list of data type. Whenever we are learning data type, you have to see its type, you have to see its size, and you have to see its format specifier. Format specifier is very important, students. Okay, there are so many data type, but I will explain you most basic, okay, which is frequently used. Based on that you will be able to understand all the data type. Okay, so integer, character, float, double, these are the basic data type. When I want to store some number, right, I have to use integer data type. If I want to store character, alphabets, ABCD, at that time I have to use character data type. Type of the data will be character. When I want to store something floating point, At that time I have to use floating point, means value with point, okay, like 10.20 or something like that. I have to use float. When I wanted to use bigger value which is of floating point only, at that time I have to use double. Okay, now when I declare some integer type variable, all these are used to declare variable. Variables are placeholder, you already know it. So whenever I declare integer variable, it occupy 2 bytes. It will occupy 2 bytes in the memory. Whenever we declare a variable, it occupies some space in our computer's memory. So integer data type will occupy 2 bytes. Some of the case it occupy 4 bytes based on the configuration of your computer. If it is 32 bit, then it will occupy 2 bytes. If it is 64 bits, then it will occupy 4 bytes. Character data type will occupy 1 byte in your computer, float occupy 4 bytes, double occupy 8 byte. Okay, similarly there are several different data types. We will discuss about this as well, but first we have to understand this basic data type. Now this is data type, size, how many byte it will occupy, and format specifier. What is the meaning of format specifier? Suppose I am declaring a variable using integer data type and I want to use that variable, I want to access that variable. At that time I have to use this format specifier. For integer it is %d, for character it is %c, float %f, double %lf. Okay, now all the type will have signed and unsigned type. Okay, these are the subtypes of every data type. Okay, say for example integer is a type. It will use to store number. If you want to store a big number, then you have to use long integer. Okay, integer will occupy 2 bytes, long integer will occupy 4 bytes. And what is the format specifier? LD. For integer it is D, for long integer it is LD. Right, so this is basic about data type. Now I will do some practical. I will show you practically how does it work. Okay students, let me remove it. I will write it from the beginning. I have already included header file. You very well know what is the use of header file and what is the meaning of header file. If you don't know, then you can check out video lecture number 1. Okay, to write the code to declare variables, I have to write main method here. Entire code we will write in main. In every C program we have to write code from main, because compiler will start compilation from main method. Every C program must contain one main method. Okay, so I will write main. This is known as body of main. Okay students, here I will declare integer a. A is a variable. What I told you just now, variable are placeholder. So within A I can store something. I will declare another variable by using different data type float f. I will declare character C. I will declare double D. I will declare double D, right? So these are 4 basic data type. I hope it is clear to everyone. Alright students. So now how to access and how to store values in this data type. First of all, I have to give a message. Okay, if I want to store values from user, then I have to give a message. How to give a message? To give a message, we will use this function. You know the use of printf, right students? Now we can scan the value of A. To scan a value, to enter something from the user, we have to use scanf function. Alright, this is the syntax of scanf. Because a is an integer variable, I have to use %d. I have already explained you what is the meaning of format specifier, and I will store it in a. Okay students, so to give a message we have to use this function, and to enter a value from the user we have to use this function. Both these functions are part of stdio.h. I have explained you, I opened stdio.h in the previous lecture, in the previous video, and now I am using both the functions in this video. Okay students, if I have not included this header file, then I cannot use these two functions. Alright, now so value of a I am entering from user, value of other variable I can store like this. See, it is a placeholder, so we can store values like this. F is a float, so it will hold floating point value. C is a character, it will store character. Double is also floating point, it will store a bigger number. Yeah, so like this we can store some values in the variable. Now I wanted to print this value. First I will print only the value of a. To print something in the screen, we have to use printf function. We will print like this: value of a is %d, and here I have to print a. Now what will happen students, it will print like this: value of a is, and instead of %d, it will print the value of a, whatever you have scanned. I will put a get ch to get a character. Get ch is also one inbuilt function. Okay, now what I told you in the previous class, first of all we have to compile a code to check error. If this code contain any error, then it will give me notification. No, it does not contain errors. Now we have to run it. Go to run, you can click on run. Enter value of a, I will enter 25. Value of a is 25. It will give me simple output. Do you understand this students? Okay, so this was basic printf and scanf function, how to use variables in the code. Okay students, so I hope the meaning of data type is clear to everyone. It is very basic, the most basic concept of